Nick here, RevXS Customs. Today we're just updating our COE tow truck build. So what we've done is we've started installing our electrics. We tidied up the old speed controller with some new wires here, and we've also got our servo hooked up for our winch. We've got a little speed controller just underneath. Probably can't really see it, sort of just tucked in down under here, which runs this. So what we've done with this is basically we've solid soldered the speed controller straight to this, so it's got no other guts in it other than the motor. So literally all this is just a spinning motor. Obviously it's a 360 degree servo that we've brought, so we don't have to worry about hacking it or anything, so it works perfectly as it is. With the motor here, we've given it a bit of a rust effect. This has actually been painted with a Geolux rust paint. Hasn't quite rusted as much as what I thought compared to what the body has, but you can starting to see it just starting to form a little bit, but we may have to go back over it. So with our gearbox, it's basically a direct drive straight from the motor to a spur back to the gear, back to the diff. We don't really need much gearing done because most of the gearing on this is quite low anyway, so it works well. We've sort of kept the same ratio on all of our projects. So the big part of what we've been doing the last sort of few weeks has been working on this body here. We've been given a bit of a rust effect, trying to sort of keep it sort of tame but not over the top, you know, in full rust. We want some of this body to show through. It's quite hard to see on here, but it's actually got a really nice metallic flake for it, and it also sort of changes colour. It looks kind of bluish, but when it's out in the sun it starts to go purple. So this is a CAD that we brought from I think it's Scale 3D RC. We'll put a link in the description, and then we've designed up the back bed here to suit. We'll probably put a link up for that if anyone who's interested in trying to make something similar. On the back we've got some little tow hooks here, which sort of rusted up a little bit, and some, you can sort of just see them there. Tail lights just there, which are just going to have a couple of 3 more LEDs which are going to poke through. And obviously the bonnet's still here, it's just taped down. We've still got to work on the hinges for that. We've also been playing around with our laser engraver, and we've also made up this little custom wood. It's going to be the step for the back in here, which is going to hide the screws which mounts it down to the car. So that's just going to pop in there. Nice and clean, hides all the screws. We'll just double-sided tape it so we can get it in and out easy. So the way we designed this to fit up, you can see it here, we've just got this little part here. It's just going to pivot up and down, which once the body's on, it'll clip on, bolt it down, and then you've just got the bolts, which are going to be 3 bolts on the front with captive nuts on the other side, and it's just going to fold up and down, just like a nitro sort of funny car. So it's fine, you can sort of get it up and down, so it sort of folds right up, and you get in there to your battery, fold it back down. The only tricky thing is it sort of, I forgot to take a bit of a notch out for where it goes through the pinion. It sort of just hits, but you can clear, it's pretty easy. And also here now you can see the wheels that we've done. These have been ABS printed, and then we'll vapor smooth them and give them a bit of a rust treatment just to give a bit of a worn look on it. So we also picked up these headlights, which are for a crawler, which are actually going to fit quite nice into the grille that we've got here. We're going to probably have to change the grille just a little bit, just the way the wires come out, but these will fit good and they look like a real set of lights. And we've also picked up this flashing orange light here. It's got a couple of different modes. We're probably going to mount it on sort of in by the winch servo rather than the roof. I think it just looks a bit weird up there. And also this is our sort of mock-up hinge system for the bonnet. So we've been playing around with this for quite a while now. So obviously if the bonnet lifts straight up, it sort of fouls. So with our theory, this is going to be to the back of the bulkhead. That's going to go to the bonnet, so it'll allow it to come forward and up and then back down without fouling in anything. We obviously need to try to make this a little bit more compact, and then we'll probably end up sort of machining this out of alloy or something. Just, it looks a lot nicer and it's going to function quite well, and then we'll just have a magnet in the front which will clip it all down. And just another part here we've been working on, just working on the radiator. We'll probably have to give this a bit of a rust effect, which has been printed, and the Molotov chrome pen around the outside, and just a matte black center grille. So we're going to work that into it somewhere as well, just so sort of poke through the grille. It should look quite cool. So keep an eye out for the next video. We're going to start wiring up the rest of these lights, tail lights, and a few other bits. So till then, have a good one.